Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys begin with disappointing Micah Parsons news. After suffering a high ankle sprain in the Cowboys' Week 4 win over the Giants, Micah Parsons missed the first 2 games of his NFL career. He was initially diagnosed with a week-to-week timeline, giving Cowboys fans hope about his likely return in the Week 8 matchup after the bye week. The Cowboys are playing the 49ers when they return from the bye, making Parsons' availability that much more important against an NFC contender. However, head coach Mike McCarthy's latest remarks aren't the most optimistic update about the star defender's status. ESPN's Todd Archer reported that McCarthy wasn't sure whether Parsons would be ready to play in 2 weeks. Calling it a big week for him, McCarthy left the door open for the possibility of Parsons missing another game. Micah Parsons not guaranteed to return in Week 8. That would be a devastating blow for Dallas. The Cowboys are already struggling defensively under the new coordinator Mike Zimmer, as they currently have the 30th ranked defense in the league. Even though Parsons has not been up to his usual All-Pro standard to start the season, he is easily the best defensive player on this team. He has only 1 sack and 6 QB hits in 4 games so far, but if the Cowboys are going to go back to being an elite defensive team, they need Parsons to be healthy and his usual self. The Cowboys front office already revealed that they aren't looking into making any big roster moves during the bye week. That means that this core is the group that is going to try to turn things around. Parsons will undoubtedly play a huge part in that, regardless of whether the Cowboys succeed in that or not. Ezekiel Elliott won't be happy with Mike McCarthy's latest comments on backfield. The running back situation in Dallas has been a complete disaster all year. The Cowboys ranked dead last in the NFL in rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, and yards per carry. Jerry Jones may not like to admit it, but the off-season decisions have clearly backfired, as the team has the worst running game in the league. The biggest miss of the off-season was arguably the decision to bring back Ezekiel Elliott. Not only has the veteran rusher been awful, averaging 3 yards per carry, but he has also been dissatisfied with his role, battling with the coaching staff. Things could get even worse for Zeke after head coach Mike McCarthy's latest remarks. McCarthy said after the embarrassing Week 6 loss that Rico Dowdle needs to touch the ball more. Dowdle having a bigger workload will have to come at Elliott's expense. Zeke played 28 snaps on Sunday, the most since Week 1. He also had 8 carries but failed to do anything with them, totaling 17 yards. Dowdle, on the other hand, had 5 carries for 25 yards and 5 catches for 30 yards against the Lions. It's not like Dowdle has been setting the world on fire with his touches, but he has been much better than Elliott. Therefore, McCarthy's statements are certainly understandable. However, what effect it will have on Zeke and the rest of the team remains to be seen. Deuce Vaughn was inactive in the past 2 weeks, and the Cowboys don't have too many other options if they further demote Elliott. The running back problem is going to persist in Dallas, and unless the front office addresses it, it's going to continue to limit the upside of the offense. Jerry Jones just made big decision on Mike McCarthy's Cowboys future. The Dallas Cowboys just suffered one of the most embarrassing home losses in franchise history in Week 6. After being completely dominated by the Lions in all aspects of the field, plenty of questions need to be answered as the Cowboys head to their bye week. The most pressing of questions is understandably about the coaching staff. Fans and the media naturally started wondering whether Mike McCarthy was on the hot seat after the disappointing 3-3 start with 3 straight home defeats. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones put an end to these rumors in his Tuesday appearance on 105.3 The Fan, per The Athletic's John Machota. When asked about an in-season coaching change, Jones bluntly said that wasn't happening. At first glance, this may sound surprising. McCarthy is in the final year of his contract after the Cowboys didn't give him a contract extension in the offseason. His job security was already questionable after flaming out in the postseason for 3 straight years. This was considered to be a prove-it year for McCarthy, and it's clear that he hasn't been able to do that. Then why not fire him and give yourself a chance to save this season? For anyone who has been following the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, the answer is clear. They don't want to spend the money. They would rather let McCarthy's contract expire and hire their next head coach in the 2025 offseason. And what if the Cowboys crash and burn in the meantime? Well, Jerry Jones has shown time and again that he doesn't care much about that. Dak Prescott just made it impossible for the Cowboys to fire Mike McCarthy. Much like the humiliating playoff loss to the Packers in January, all eyes were on Jones after the historic defeat against the Lions to see if he would lay down the hammer on Mike McCarthy. While Jones didn't give McCarthy a ringing endorsement, he made it clear that he is not considering a coaching change. Firing McCarthy wouldn't accomplish much at this juncture. The Cowboys are 3-3. They're a half game behind the inconsistent Eagles in the NFC East, and they still have a shot at clinching a wild card berth. Injuries are a major issue right now, and Dallas has gutted out some tough victories. With that said, it's easy to understand why folks are calling for McCarthy's job. While somebody normally has to answer for a loss of that magnitude, Dak Prescott made it virtually impossible for Jones to hand McCarthy his walking papers. Dak Prescott passionately defends Mike McCarthy after Cowboys' Week 6 loss. "I'll go to war for that guy, with that guy, every single day, and I'm not the only one in that locker room," Prescott said of McCarthy. "I feel like everybody feels that. If you heard what he said after that game, that's not something that I care to let you guys in on, honestly, but strong message. In a loss, to be able to feel that way, show those emotions and respond, I'll follow him. I'll follow him. I know he said it to you guys, he said it in there, he's looking in the mirror, as we all should. Thankful for him as my coach. Period." That's a powerful statement from Prescott. It is abundantly clear that McCarthy has the support of the locker room. The fact Prescott is still willing to go to war for McCarthy puts the front office in a tough spot. What do you think? Leave your opinion in the comments and subscribe to the channel. See you later.